And then this guy.
Our song, yeah.
Ready, Rich?
Oh, wait, it's red. Is that
It's already recorded.
Right? Okay, good.
This is behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Hey,
Hola, hola,
hey, hey. Hi, guys.
It's the Migas. Welcome back.
Welcome.
back. Happy September 1st. Happy Labor Day. Hopefully if you're off,
Labor
you're enjoying
Day.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
And you got all your back to school stuff, because if you didn't, it's kind of late, but you should still be able to find something.
Yeah, you'll still find some things. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Yes, everything will be fine.
Amen.
Yeah.
The good thing is now with everything on the internet and like Amazon, it's like you're not fighting people.
True, but
all
then
that
you're
stuff.
paying like top dollar when you could pay low dollar.
That's true. I mean, if you really wanted to do low dollar, you would just go and get it at the end of the year. But I don't know. That doesn't hit the same. Like
I mean, it hits the same when you see that savings.
No. That's for sure. But I feel like that tiny little dopamine boost of going for back to school shopping.
Right,
But now
true.
it's like back to school shopping starts in freaking June.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
not
like,
the same.
sir, I just want to go here and get floaties. Like, what's happening? Why
The
are you-
floaties be on sale though.
Now?
No, they were on sale back in July. I know for sure because I
Got some for-
secured a bunch for less than $1.
Oh,
And like high quality, and it was not a Dollar Tree.
I mean, things are not even $1 at Dollar Tree
For real.
anymore.
Facts.
Now they're the Dollar. So now they're like, they think they're fancy. Pinkies up over here.
Always.
Yep. Well, how was your week?
The week was good. It was busy. The last week before school officially started, the countdown to kindergarten adventures with Caleb. If you followed along, we had ourselves one busy week. We explored not only the Lego Discovery Center, we went to Lego Land, and he had himself a week of just building and all that stuff. But it was a balanced week in the sense of like things got done, fun was had, errands got done, a priority dentist visit that he had. Shout out to New Jersey Pediatrics in Fairfield, New Jersey. Dr. Mary, heaven sent pediatric dentist. Like her patients with her patient was amazing. The way that she explained, Caleb had to get a big old cavity filled. And she explained it. She was like, I'm going to go in there. She was like, I would never lie to you. And I love that because I was like, you're already establishing that respect and trust with the child. And because, of course, any doctor visit could be a scary experience for any child, even some adults. So she was like, she made it a whole like story / game. She was like, I have to go in there and get these she either said like sugar monsters or like sugar bubbles, and I'm going to use this tool and this is how it's going to feel. And then she like tested it out on his hand. And then she was like, okay, now I'm going to put this, he got like the laughing gas. I forgot what she called it. But again, all the terminology that she was using was super appropriate for his age. He did so good. I think our appointment was, technically like for 30 minutes. She got that thing done like 15, 20 minutes. Like I'm talking about like the filing down of the filling, the drying, all of it. And he did very well. He complained a little bit. And one thing I didn't know, I'm sure you probably like were already aware of it, that they had to put like that big gauze in because they're still numb. Obviously, us as adults, like you're aware, like, okay, let me not
So that
move around.
Yeah.
But what they do, most kids just sit there and like chew. And then she showed me, again, super educational from the first experience with her to this visit, showed pictures of what can happen to their lips. Like if they keep chewing. I don't know what it is, I guess with the numbing, it literally looks like if they had some type of like blister.
Yeah.
And I was
Because they
just
don't feel it.
Yeah. And she was like, because of that, this is why we give them something to keep like their mouth busy. And then I remember towards the end, because it takes about like 2 hours for the numbing to wear off. And I remember literally we got home, I set a timer. Again, thank God for modern times. Set a timer. So I was aware. I was like, okay, that way, because he was asking for water. And I was just like, I don't even want to give him anything because, of course, he's going to drink the water. This is going to be like, falling out.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, let me set this timer. And I literally also told him in advance. I'm like, listen, you're not going to be able to eat all the things. And then towards the end of it, I noticed he started like chewing his lip. Because when we got home, what we did, we kept the Lego theme. Then I was like, what can I do to kind of keep busy for a 2-hour activity? We had to sit there and sort all of his Legos and like come up with a new system for it. Because like the system that I previously had in place was just not functioning. Yeah. So I was like, all right, let's reset. So I was like, you know what? This is like a calming activity. It goes along with the week that we've had.
Yeah.
And that killed literally the entire 2 hours. But I, again, noticed it towards the end. I was like, please don't bite your lip. Yeah. And he did get like a little like scared because he did like turn back when she was showing me the pictures at the office of what can happen. So we saw like a glimpse of it. Obviously, I didn't want him to because it was a lot of crazy mouths. And she was like, we really don't want this, especially like the week before he starts school.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was like, because it takes a long time to heal. And I was just like, oh my God. So thank God, again, and I caught it because he was, again, I was like, what can I do that I can also monitor him? And for me not to be distracted and go off and do something else. And then what else? I guess for myself, had my acupuncture, which is the best. It's not like a long-term fix, but it's a nice temporary relief. And what I learned with my recent appointment was my thing is just like, I get very like tense. It's like, I was like just very tense up here. And I noticed I get like a lot of tension in my upper back. I always say, thank God I don't suffer from any like lower back pains or anything like that. But my upper back is serious. Like the knots, like you can literally go like just touch it and you could like feel it instantly. So what she was teaching me today, well, when I had not today, but when I had the appointment was to be mindful of the posture of your jaw. And even like that, even like sometimes like moving your shoulders back and like putting your jaw in and down. I was just like, oh my God, I felt instant like relief. But she was like, acupuncture, we do it like every other week. She was like, these are things you kind of need to be mindful of, that you need to be mindful of every single day. And I was just like, okay, something else to be aware of. But I'm always like trying, especially obviously, sitting at a desk for hours and stuff like that. And your posture, you always want to be mindful of it. But it does play, like, again, for longevity, like it catches up to you. And it's definitely caught up to me. And again, anytime I'm tense, because even when I'm working out, like my trainer tell me like, Cindy, relax your shoulders, relax your shoulders. So I'm always like, I don't know, I'm just like ready. Like I'm in like attack mode, like let's go. But obviously that is not helping. So that's one fun health thing that I've learned this week. But how has your week been?
Good. Well, last week we went to visit our friend Kayla.
Yes, that's right. Yes. That's right. Because I was like, wait, I know the week started off great on Sunday.
Yes.
We went up for that.
We went up to see her and went to service with her at her church. And then we had lunch and, just had our day with her, which was, we love you, Kayla.
Love you.
Which that just set the tone for the rest of the week. It was like a nice, like I felt good.
It was a nice reset.
Yeah, it was a nice reset. And then Monday, my mom had gotten tickets to Hurricane Harbor for me, her, and the kids. And we went to Hurricane Harbor. Oh my God.
Was it busy?
It was okay. For a Monday, it wasn't that bad. It was okay. I loved that. Okay, so the section that we were in, it was like literally one of the first ones that you just come out, and it was the lazy river for the kids. And then they had like a pirate ship with a slide or whatever. Ollie did that. Alina was like interested, but then not. And then I was just focused on, it's 3 against me. So it's like, oh my God. So I was with the other 2. And then like mom's trying to take her and she's getting frustrated because she's not understanding that Alina can't go down the slide. Like you need to keep helping her.
Coaching, yeah.
But we ended up doing the lazy river, but Alina did it her way, which was fine. She pushed the little donut thing around. So I was like, that girl.
That works.
Whatever.
Thank you.
I got Zoe in it and she was chilling. She was just like, yeah, this is great. The queen that I am. And I'm like, okay. And then Oliver was just having a blast. Like he thought it was so great. Then we went to the wave pool and just chilled there for a while, just kind of let them do their thing and then had lunch and then left. I was like, I'm ready to go home because this has been a day.
No, yeah.
Like,
and then being out in the sun. So.
Yeah. And then throughout the week, Alina has her ABA. Then we had, her ABA. And then we had her occupational therapy. And then for me and what I've been doing, when my anxiety and stuff gets like super bad, like my entire house like falls at the waistline, like all of it. It's a hot mess and no one can touch anything because you don't know where everything goes and you're just going to make more of a mess or piss me off when things are not around. So I woke up one morning and, like I tried really hard to get off my medication, which I don't advise anyone who is on medication for mental health to do this and cut cold turkey. Speak to your doctor or your pastor or somebody in your, like whoever you confide in, and that's the decision you want to make, good for you. I needed to get back on it. So I've been consistently back on my medication for about 2 weeks now. And finally I felt like my brain was clicking.
Good.
Like it was like as if like, when you don't have like a lamp on for a while, but then you unplug it and then you don't realize that it's not unplugged and you're like, oh, maybe you have to change the light bulb and it's not. It's just because it's not plugged. That's literally how I was feeling. So I got back on that and then like, it was literally like, those news where it's like when you come alive, it was like, great, let's get to work. And I cleared everything. So one of my little passion projects was creating romanticizing my office for when I go back to work. And boy, did I do that.
It looks gorgeous. I got a sneak peek, of course.
I saw it yesterday and I was literally standing there and I was
so
like,
good. So good.
It was like taking the image from my head and like the process is so easy for me because it's something I enjoy doing. It's something that like, putting up the wallpaper for me, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is a better brand. I know how to do that.
I love the reference that you made about it being like a big old sticker.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, yeah, I was just like, because wallpaper could be so intimidating.
Yes.
I was like, oh, it's just a big old sticker.
It's just a big old sticker. And like the cool thing is with the peel and stick, it is very renter friendly, even dorm room friendly, stuff like that. Like you could just peel it off and then depending on the adhesive, but it's come such a long way. It doesn't like when you take it down, it doesn't like rip. Like when
like
you cut, it's just
nice big
like
piece.
that. So I love it. And
that's
like
pleasing.
And it's so like pleasing when you get to put like
and it matches. Yeah, when you said that, I was just like, that looks so good.
I know. I was like, look at that. You can't even tell. This is amazing. But I shopped around my house, obviously. I went to Hobby Lobby because you just have to. And I got a few pieces from Amazon, but kind of repurposed a lot of things that I have.
I love that.
So that big crafting table that I made is actually going to be for the kids now. So when they have homework and they're doing therapies at home, everything is going to have a house, like their own little space and all their activities. So it's looking so good. I'm like,
you did that.
Yes.
You did it.
I did. And honestly, it was like an itch in my brain that was being scratched.
Love it.
So, well, that was really fun for me. So it's still a work in progress, but I'm also giving myself grace because I'm like, damn, there's a lot of things in here that I don't need, but let me check first before I do it on an impulse and just throw things out. And then I end up being like, damn, I had that. Let me go buy it again. So, but little by little. And I also changed Oliver's room literally this morning. I woke up, we got him a TV. I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this bracket on the wall. I could do it.
And she did it.
And Alberta was like, are you sure? Like, do you know where the studs are? I'm like, yeah, here's my handy dandy stud finder. I'm like, sir. And I'm like, and I can see it. I could see the studs from where. He's like, what do you have X-ray vision? I'm like, no, it's just this was a crappy wall. I was like, so you can
see it with the sheetrock, or if they didn't like, what is it, plaster or like compound the screws.
The screws. I was like,
so
I see it right there. And like every
we're
time,
little construction babes.
Exactly. And like I'm talking to my dad and my mom as I'm doing this, and my dad is like, "You're putting that up by yourself? Do you need?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Here's the level." I literally had the level on there when I'm just talking to them and whatever, and they're cracking up. I'm like, "This is a regular day for me. This brings me so much joy to do it." So I put that, and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna rearrange his room. You know what? We're gonna change the theme. We're gonna do this." So I ended up buying him a new carpet because he needed one and a gamer beanbag chair because he's like been into gaming.
Love it.
Does he play games? Not really, but whatever. He just wants the aesthetic.
The vibes. He's there for the vibes.
So I just, those little two items really changed the room, and I put his toys out for him to play, and he has a responsibility. I said, these do not leave the room. You play here. I made a section for you to play. They do not leave the room. But if they do, you have to bring them back home. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I'm going to see. Because if not, they're going to be right on the curb. Because I've done that before.
Yeah. I know. And the thing is, it's every single night because with us, stuff always gravitates, obviously, to the common living spaces. But then those common living spaces can quickly pile up with these toys. And sometimes people have come over like, oh, you can't even tell like a kid lives here. And it's that. It's either like we have like the one bucket where you can like quickly dump stuff if he's not around to help clean, or we forgot to like remind him like, hey, even yesterday, I was just like, hey, we're back home before we went into the whole Lego thing. I'm like, there's so many cars on this table right now.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I know it's just the weekend's coming and stuff is gonna just pile up. And I was like, I'm gonna help you. I was like, start bringing thing. And of course he has to go up the stairs. And I was like, you know what? This is his workout for the day.
His little kid's strong.
Exactly. I was like, his little circulation for his second heart.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, so that was a way I refilled my cup, and like also seeing my kids' faces when I do stuff. So now, like, of course the girls are like, Mommy, what are you? And I'm like, girls, I already have my Pinterest board, mood board ready and I just changed their room.
I know. But I love it that you're constantly doing a refresh.
But I love doing that. And I'm learning. I feel like these skills are things that nobody can ever take away from me. And it's something that, like, I may not hunt and I may not be able to do all these things, but I could build a house. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Not the hunting.
Yeah, like, like that will make me gag. Like I'm like, no, you do that.
All right, I'll do the hunting and you build that cabin,
and I
girl.
build that cabin. That's it. Like, come on.
You know how to start, and you know how to start a fire from scratch?
I do.
From scratch?
I do. Yeah.
All right, there we go. Girl Scouts, move over.
It's so funny because we had, Elba was over, and like the girls were all over, but like Elba was like, I'm from El Campo. I know how to do this. And the thing is, the wood was wet. And she still got that thing to light up. And I was like, what sorcery is this? And she was like,
we're innovative.
And she told me, she's like, I'm never quitting. I'm never giving up.
And that's one thing I'll say about Dominicans. And if you're Dominican and you're listening, we are so innovative. We're like the I guess like campo country engineers of the world.
Yeah.
I swear, because the stuff that you see out there when you go out to the island is wild. And it's like out of nothing. Yeah. They'll make something so functional and something that you actually can
use
will improve your life.
It's like,
so I love that.
Think smarter, not harder.
I need that skill from Elba. I'm like, how did you light that wet wood?
It was wet. I was like, she's like, yeah, but the one at the bottom is not, and it's gonna overpower. And we put all this paper, and I was like, girl, yes,
I love it.
It was funny, but all right, let's dive into this episode because it is something so near and dear and important. And as you can see, like, Cindy and I are growing in our friendship.
Thanks.
Like, we met, like, honestly, it was like
we were we were in
the trenches. Like
with crumbs on our mouth.
We're just like
hairs.
But
we look like the doll from the Rugrats. Cynthia's.
Yeah.
We was just two
Cynthia or any of the what's it called? The discarded toys. Oh my God.
Oh, the discarded toys from Toy Story. Yeah. Strolling through Target and nobody could tell us otherwise. We were not fully aware of our issues.
Yes. We were masking it with
tissues.
Yes, no, not just that, but with Starbucks shaken espressos
and matcha
cold brews and Target trips and that bullseye spot. Man, like, bro.
But it's such a beautiful thing to acknowledge and see the growth. Yeah. And we're on this journey together. Yeah, give me your hand. We're gonna walk this. This is us skipping through the woods. I'm gathering that fire for the wood while she's gathering wood
I'm like the
for
berries. I'm like, if it doesn't move, I'm okay. But I really wanted to touch on the importance of friendships, but also the importance of really being selective with your friendships.
Yes.
I know we're in this time, in this really funky like thing. It's like inclusive and everybody. Yes, with the boundary.
Preach.
I accept everyone for who they are, but if you're moving in a way that I'm not for, it's not something that I can get behind. It's not that I have an opinion. I'm setting a boundary.
Right.
And
it's like Pastor Philip, like something that I just recently reposted. He literally said, you owe everyone love. And that's like the inclusivity part. But you don't owe everybody access.
Yes.
And that, I was just like, wow, this is a nice way to wrap it up in a nice bow.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to also explain yourself, but we're going to sit here and explain ourselves today.
Yes.
So y'all know, this is the nitty gritty because you get to listen and you've made it this far on the episode. Now you get the true hardcore gems.
So it's really hard, especially if you are, I'm a chronic people pleaser. I people please, and it's been something that has been ingrained and instilled in me from childhood, because in order for me to get the reaction from, in this case, my mother, was me having to do something for her, and I still do it. Like, here's an example. She reached out to me to ask me if I would be willing to give somebody in our family friend thing money because they're struggling. And I'm like, one, that's a weird boundary to cross with me, because it's like, yeah, I understand. Like, I am giving, I do all this stuff, but like to my immediate family, yeah. And like, I get it, but it's like always because I've never set the boundary to say no. So it's literally like, I sit there and I'm like, okay, but she didn't think that I have 3 kids. Like, you know, I have all this stuff. Like right now I'm on disability, like all like these little factors, but that's not her responsibility to know those things or bring up those things, because she's not thinking about that.
And you never set the boundary.
And I never set the boundary, like, do not ask me for this, because I never want to come across as selfish. I never want to come across as someone who is not willing to help, because I know I am one of the most giving and loving people. And I feel like I do that so extra and so hard because, one, I'm a people pleaser, and 2, I give everything. But when it's not reciprocated, it pisses me off. But instead of it pissing me off, it needs to be like, okay. Well, I see that you're a vibe, friendship, energy, blessing vampire, and I have the blood that you want, and I'm not going to partake in that. So we're just going to like quietly quit the friendship. I love you. I will always love you. You'll always have a space here, but access to my life, and especially now being a mother and access to my 3 children, that's off the table.
Yeah, your membership has officially been expired.
Yeah, and it's lapsed.
And you cannot renew it. And one thing I want to add, when you said about helping financially a family member, my biggest thing, and I've spoken to my sister about this. Again, one thing is to help someone financially, and especially knowing, like now if you come into an abundance of money, and of course you want to help your neighbor, help that other person, but you have to be extremely mindful, and it comes with setting that boundary. For instance, if I'm gonna give a family member a monetary gift to help them advance in their life, because that's the intention I'm giving it with, that it may not always be received that way. And then when we see it again misuse, we're like, wait, so my blessing, the blessing that I gave just kind of went to shit, the sugar honey iced tea. And another thing too, if the people that you're helping are willing and able to go find food for themselves, and you're coming out of your pocket when you have your own family to feed and take care of that depend on you, but now you kind of like backset yourself because you overextended, and I'm using financially because there's so many other ways you can overextend. And that other person is just sitting there like hee ha ha with your blessing. And it's just, in a sense, it's just like, we may be blocking our own blessings by blessing, wrongfully.
Yes.
And it's just about that. It's just like, and it's not being selfish. It's you guarding your heart and respect and showing yourself some respect. And that's like, again, conversations that I have with my sister, obviously with you as well. And it's just that. And it's just because we have to be able to grow together and grow in that mindset together. And again, hold each other accountable. And it's that, like, I will not let you sit there and use your blessing on the wrong person. That's one thing I stand. And again, I have learned from life experiences. And once I started setting my boundaries, whoa, the blessings that God has blessed me with in different types of ways, not just monetarily. It's been amazing. And then I'm also learned not to take the blessings that he has given me after my learning experience for granted. Because another thing too, like once we receive it, we're like, all right, like what's the next thing? We're chasing the next thing.
Yes.
And it's just like, nah, let me chill. Let me rest in this blessing that he gave me.
And let's like reeling it back into the friendship piece. So I have encountered several people, and it may not be like direct. It could be a friend of a friend and how they're moving with that. But some behaviors, some things are just complete red flags. And it's like enough to know I don't want to be a part of it. But I'm still navigating when it starts to affect me personally and I'm a part of this issue, how not to respond in a way that I want to retaliate. I want to be like, who do you think you are? No, because at the end of the day, my intention was never wrong. I know that. I know how I moved.
Right.
My intention, and literally, like, when they say like how, what people do, like, that's none of your business. How people feel, it's none of your business, because that I did not have a thought of you when I moved this way. So like, for example, if you're gonna go out with friends or something and then someone feels left out or and that's happened to me. And I used to take it so personally, seeing my friends go out and then I'm home and they don't owe me an explanation. But I have friends that respect me enough and we have that conversation that they were like, Nora, you have 3 kids. You work full time. You have a husband. We figured that you would not, like, if you wanted to come out, you would let us know, hey, I'm free on this and this and this day. Yeah, it's all fun and games and funny. Like when you see that, oh, I'm not going to go, but I still want to be invited. If you were not a thought, you were not a thought. Don't ask to knock somewhere because you were never a thought in that planning process.
Right.
And then they have to accommodate to have you because, that's just weird.
Yeah.
And 2, I feel like, ooh, well, if I wasn't that's not the plan. And now walking more in a spiritual journey, it's like, that wasn't God's plan either, because if it was, all divine intervention,
he would have put you in that room. He would have put you in that room.
And maybe those are the rooms that I shouldn't be a part of.
Absolutely.
Because one, either I've outgrown the conversations that are being had there, or I'm not mentally or spiritually, or like my heart is just not ready to receive that message. So like, for example, whenever I see these beautiful, amazing, like women in business, entrepreneur, like my heart is like, yes, I want to go. I want to support. I want to be there. But the message is not going to resonate because I'm not in that season.
You're not ready to receive it. Yeah.
And I'm not in that season. Like right now, if you give me like a book thing and I'm like, yes, I'm actually interested in that I can hold space for. A motherhood seminar on how to regulate your nervous system, because that is where I am. But if you're going to go and be like, I'm a coach and I can teach you to untap your perspective, I'm like, no, I'm not there.
Right.
I'm not belittling those skills. But that's not the room that I should be in.
You're not ready. Like I said, you're not
ready to receive it. Like
your heart posture is just not positioned.
Yeah.
Like you said, to yes, because you'll sit there and you'll hear it. But are you actually going to walk out of that event and then actually apply it?
Correct.
Because it's like the same thing. You were brought to the water, but now are you going to drink the water? Yep.
Now, a question that I took notes, y'all. I took notes. I was just like, this subject of friendship is so near and dear to my heart because I've had, in the past 5 years, I've had some of the worst friendship breakups of my life. And when you're young and you have that person that was supposed to be your BFF, like you kind of think like, when the hell am I going to, yeah, we're best friends forever. And then you get to like a different school or a different grade, or you're even separated to a different class. You're literally right down the hall. And it's the time that they spend with other people. That connection just goes away.
It's you just outgrow each other.
Yeah. And my last like main heartbreak of a friendship was so like, I when I think about it, I still cry about it because I'm just like, how did this happen? And I instantly point the finger at myself. Like, what did I do to make my friend so uncomfortable that she had to hold all of this together and spew it out to me when she was literally at the tipping point? Like, that's it. Because at the end of the day, like, I am mature, grown, and emotionally aware that, yeah, I'm a difficult person sometimes. I can be. But that also comes with, okay, well, you're kind of difficult too, but I accept your difficulties and I embrace them because that makes you individually you. But if you're going to throw those things in my face, then we're just not on the same, we're not even playing the same sport anymore.
You're just not compatible.
Yeah.
You know?
And our lives are so different, but we held on so hard to our friendship that was like, those are flags that they're not even red flags. They were just flags we were not seeing. They were like caution signs.
And sometimes you're so focused on the longevity
Correct.
of the friendship and you just hang on to that green flag for so long.
Because you want to put a time limit.
Yeah, because like, you want to be like, oh yeah, we've been friends for 20 years. But have you?
Yeah.
Have you really been a friend for 20 years? Like, have you really been there through each like growing pain with each other? Like in the nitty gritty, have you been in the trenches together? Because that's what I've noticed is what makes friendships just kind of dissipate or kind of like water down when, again, we're all going through stuff and stuff happens more and more, again, when you put a husband in the picture, when you put kids in the picture, like you just start becoming a different person in itself. Like, yes, you're still you, but then now you're you, a wife, you, the mother, you still trying to be the you now trying to grow, you trying to find a new hobby, you making new friends. And how does that foundation friendship feel about you making new friends, you growing, them seeing you be happy, actually like genuinely, authentically, like let you hold space for your joy. Like, wow, look at her. She said that she's gonna go do this, and she did it. And she's growing, and then comes back and tells you like, hey, I did this and this and that. Like, how are you? Yeah. How is that old friendship receiving it? And that's what I've noticed too. Like with my past friendships, it's just like, okay, like you're clearly not listening, so it's time to move on. Yeah. But I know you've had a very difficult time. Yeah. And it's just like
it's heartbreaking.
Because like I want to lend you my heart.
it's so heartbreaking.
So you can see that it's gonna be okay. Yeah. Like there's so many more beautiful doors ahead. And sometimes like those old friendships that we've outgrown, even though they've been like our walking diaries, you know, they were there in the beginning. And obviously now these new friendships don't really understand what that beginning was. But then, wow, they're understanding on a deeper level, way deeper than those friendships that you thought, like that BFF-ness. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, wow, this is where I was meant to be. And that's how I've seen it. Because like I said, I know we've both experienced some hardships and friendships, but I know I'm still
grieving it. Yeah, like I'm grieving it. And we actually messaged because I saw a meme that I just was like, this is hilarious and I have to share it. Because that's the thing. It's like, you know, when they say somebody passes, you just want to send them like a message or something like that. Like I would constantly, like it was literally like the same 3 people over and over again. And now when I look at my favorites of who I send messages to, I'm like, I like this. I like this. I like this. Because it's like also what we're sending in substance. Like what message are you, like whenever you send me one, I'm like, all right, I know I'm going to have to prepare. I'm going to have to sit here with some notes because
you know it's not going to be no.
because I can't just be listening to it like, like what, no, I have to sit
It's going to have
focus.
the meat and potatoes, like
so
you say.
I actually have what's it called? I have a ritual that at night, like right before I stop scrolling and everything, that's when I go back to everything that Cindy sent me. And
take notes.
No, I do because I got back into journaling. So I'm just like,
it.
okay, let me see. Like, and then
because you were like, I know this girl sent me some inspiration.
I was like, you know what? It is gonna tap into my feelings. It is gonna bring me
cry.
like, it's gonna make me want to crack open. I'm like, let me just sit here.
Like you go to TikTok for your laughs.
Yes.
Open my DMs for some serious shit.
Because if you go on my TikTok right now, my algorithm is literally like desk decor. How much does it cost to have a chicken coop in New Jersey? Like it is random. Like it is so nuts. But anyways, another thing that I wanted to touch base on because, okay, being the type of person that I am literally number one hype girl. I feel that everyone can do anything, anytime, because there is space and room for everyone to grow.
And to eat.
Yes.
We could all eat.
But one thing that really grinds my gears, and when before I would peep it, and send Cindy a message or a voice note.
And let it consume her day.
Yo, my entire day.
I'm like, girl,
yes.
What you having for lunch? Like, let's
change the subject. Yeah. And I would let that, like, I make a joke. I'm Petty LaBelle, but that's not a badge of honor.
No, that's part of like toxic positivity a bit. And when you would say it, I remember I would kind of be like, ha ha, but then I'm like, no.
Yeah. So the craziest thing is when you start getting you start seeing the signs. Like God is always going to put these signs in your face. Like they're going to be there.
Is preach.
So when you see, for example, hold on, where is the thing? I just put it on here because I was just like, bruh, seriously? What the hell? All right. Whenever you're winning, your friend is silent about your wins. Whenever you feel that you are sharing or being around them, like you feel like you have to sacrifice, like either what you like to do, there's no compromise there. It's one way or another. It's very, very one-sided. Sabotaging your progress. So like if you were to tell me, you know what, Nora, I want to open an elephant sanctuary. And I would be like, what? Well, where are you going to get the elephants? Instead of being like, tell me more.
What's your plan? Like, where are you getting those elephants?
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Like, what sparked that?
Yeah.
I'm actually intrigued.
Right.
Tell me more. Like, what's your vision for it? Like, what's the plan? Like, all that stuff. Be delulu with your friends, but to the point where if it doesn't work out, you're not like, well, see,
I told you.
Or then you always say that you're going to do this.
Yeah.
Let them romanticize that ideal. And if it's meant for them, the door is going to open. If not, maybe you have to take a step back. But for me, the biggest thing is silence when you win. Because we're just...
And that's also...
That's so loud.
And that's also, and like what I recently posted as well this past week is, again, when they say like when you have confidence and all that stuff, and I know you say you don't, but you freaking do. And you gotta own it. You gotta freaking own it. Like it's marked here. What day is today?
I just got my confidence bracelet.
And I saw that. And I was just like, that's right. You better freaking put that thing on because you have it. And you're, again, letting all this little BS water you down. Mm-hmm. You better be that sunflower tall as heck and shine. And sometimes those sunflowers grow taller than the other ones. You're just a tall, super tall sunflower. And you have to remember that because all that stuff, all that silence that you're hearing, you know what that is? Insecurity. Silence supports is insecurity.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something. Again, you're checking their spirit of lack.
Yeah.
Your spirit of abundance is here. Like, let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. And I will.
And their spirit of lack.
Yeah.
Can't hold that space for you. And they probably never will, again, until they realize, because sometimes we're insecure in ourselves, like little things, because I've caught myself and I'm like, oh, nope, that's not, I'm going to flip it around. That is not insecurity. What is that person's video calling me out on? What is that person telling me that I need to be accountable for? And that's what it is. And unfortunately, again, social media has turned into this competition of, I almost see it like a competition of who's more insecure.
Yeah.
Where I'm on the other side now of
who's the biggest insecure?
Who's the biggest freaking loser? Yeah. Let me stop. But it's that, like, now I'm on the side of Instagram. I'm like, all these girls with the confidence, and it's the most humbling type of confidence because their foundation is faith. Once you hit those pages, when these girls are talking from faith and not from ego, the tone is so different. It's so refreshing, and it is out there. But if you keep clicking on these insecure baddies, you're gonna keep feeling. You're gonna keep pouring into that insecurity instead of letting that watering that sunflower. You're watering that you're watering your weeds.
Yeah,
sis. Like,
yeah, and that's blocking.
Let's go.
You. Yeah,
let's go. Tell me more.
I'll tell you more. Okay, so what's her name that you sent me?
Kitty Rose.
Yes. So she actually, literally, I was sitting there I had to keep, I'm like, no, I have to get this word for word from you, girl. So thank you so much for putting out your content. Yes. I am, now you have a fan. I am obsessed. I will be.
Come to the Kitty Rose fan base.
So she had said in one of her videos, your talent can open doors, but only your character can keep you in the room.
That's a wrap for that podcast.
Because you can come in and, like, say you have a resume. You could chat GPT that resume. You can lie on that resume. I did X, Y, Z, LMNOP, QRS, TU, WX, Y, and Z.
Zeta.
But then when you go and you're doing the job, the math ain't mathin'. But if you have your talent, you come in, it's your God-given talent. And you show up humble. You show up with
integrity.
Grace, and then here it is. Dignity, humility, and integrity. No one can teach that. Mm-hmm. You have that. And I will just share a super quick little story. You know, when MLMs were a big deal, so multi-level marketing thingies, and, you know, I went back into Sensi, so we'll get back into that. If you guys need any Sensi, you know. But
love it.
I was in it. I loved it, you know, and then I had a few friends who also sold Sensi, and they had friends who sold Sensi, and they put us in a way that it was like this competition because it's a sales-based thing. And I got so in my feelings that I felt like I had to one-up everybody else and be better than everybody else so that I can get the business, which, yeah, that's sales 101. However, that should not be tied to my worth. And that's the thing. Whenever I tried something and if I failed or if somebody else was inspired by what I was doing and decided they wanted to do that too and started, like, I'm out here yapping away, putting that my whole freaking like playbook out there. Of course someone is going to sit there and do the same thing. But how Cindy says, you can have the recipe, but you ain't got the sauce. Yeah, and that's the sauce. Like, your character. The
God-given sauce, baby.
And that in friendship is very important because when you're trying to be in a group of, you should always have women who are elevated. Sitting in a room with women who are elevated. And like, say someone is like, oh my God, yeah, I just passed the bar. But you're out here and you're an entrepreneur. What is that person's success who went to go be a lawyer have to do? Like, because there's that instant insecurity, like, oh, well, she passed the bar. Oh my God. So what does that mean about me? Like, I'm not great. Oh my gosh, she was so much better than me. And it's literally your negative thoughts just entering your head for no reason. That's her journey. What? We're about to have an Esquire up in here. Like, we're about to have someone, Law and Order. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. And that should not diminish your wins.
Right. And at the end of the day, too, those are accomplishments.
Exactly.
You know, when all those strings are stripped away, Because eventually, obviously, right, the goal is to retire from all of these careers. Who are you then? Think about it like that. Like, if I didn't have the career titles, the veteran, whatever, who am I? At the end of the day, again, and going back to your character. Character, that can never be taken away no matter what you're doing. You could be a homeless person on the street or the CEO, the freaking president. Your character shouldn't be any different, though.
Correct.
You know, and again, and that's when the humility kicks in. And again, having that dignity.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I'm not my accomplishments at all. And I would never like boast. And that's another thing too and then, if, again, going back to the Dominican culture, and I'm sure in the Moroccan culture you can relate, especially my mom is the biggest. I go, well, so-and-so is this. And I'm like, okay, but who are they as a person? Like, I've been losing my appetite for caring so much about titles and accomplishments and this and that. And I'm like, who are you as a person? How is your heart speaking? You know, how does your heart react in conflicts? Because that's something that's gonna, again, like you said, it's gonna keep you in that room.
Yeah.
And the room that I want to be in right now, like the biggest room, is faith, the faith room. And there, God doesn't care about your accomplishments. Yes, he opened those doors for you. You gotta, always show him that gratitude for that, for allowing you to complete your heart desires. But if your heart desires is coming from a place of like it's your ego, and that's
let it go.
Yeah, and that's why
that
again,
ego go.
You're gonna start feeling all of that anxiety, depression, all these things because we're trying to keep up with all these worldly things, the society's timeline. You have to do this before you do that. No, you need to do whatever God assigned you to do. And when you're not doing that, you're not remaining obedient to his plan. And that's when stuff is going to look funny and feel weird.
Yeah.
And you're going to be super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Now, if you're uncomfortable because you're growing, that's completely different. But if you're uncomfortable because like, again, when you put your head on the pillow in the night, you're like, you got to literally check yourself, check your surroundings, the friends that you're speaking to on the regular, what they're feeding into you, what they're pouring into you, the family, because I hate to say it, but a lot of it comes from that. But then once you learn to filter out all those things, you can have you got the opinions. That's your business. That's between you and God. At the end of the day, I have my business with God.
Yeah.
I have my relationship with God. And it's that the best friendship, the best healing friendship we can have is with him up there.
Yeah.
I promise. And I love that you're...
And no matter what your faith is, like, honestly, like, you can... Because, being raised Muslim, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, okay, like, I can't quote scripture. I can't, like, because, I'm not really familiar. But it's like the stories my dad would tell me, things like that. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to God. And you're just like, you know what? I want to move in the way that I have been intended to.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to you, when I let sugar honey iced tea go, when I just let it go, and I'm like,
and you realize I was like, well, it
Yo,
wasn't
it's
even
not
that
even
serious.
that serious.
It's not
Like,
that deep.
and
that's another thing too. Society wants us to think that everything is deep.
yeah.
It's not. The only thing that's deep is my faith.
Here is a perfect example of I don't know if you peeped this growth, but okay. So I had every intention to come to Caleb's lemonade stand. When my parents called me to say, drop the kids off, I was like, damn, I really wanted to bring, but my dad had set up the pool for them. He did all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'll have a day to myself. I'll still make it over there. I was like, it's fine. I'll go drop them off. My cousin, Berto's cousin, who's my cousin. Hi, Prima. She's like, hey, you want to go to the movies? Like, and we made some time. When you had messaged me, hey, we missed you yesterday, I was fighting myself on like, okay, how am I gonna respond? She's not gonna get mad. Nora. But when I said, I was like, this is Cindy.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, my cousin needed me. We made it a day. I should have communicated it.
I know. We grow and we learn. It's just like.
But here's the thing: like,
the day
I was
got
so
to you. Yeah.
into the day. Like, I didn't even have my phone around me. I was just like, we were watching the movie. We got back and we just were having heart. It was such like a in the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, I should have communicated that I wasn't coming. Like, blah blah blah. But I wasn't even near my phone. Like, I was present.
Yeah.
But having that open communication with you, and I'm like, see, I could have this communication, and she's not going to be like, wow, you said, like, you know, like, you said you were going to be here. Like, you know, so it's like.
No, and it's just like you said, it's part of growing. And again, like we all need to work on that. It's the communication.
Yeah.
You know, and like again,
I still bought my hibiscus lemonade.
She sure did. She sure did. And I was like, I remember when you told me, I was like, why are you giving me this money?
And she told me she was gonna block me off Zelle. And I was like, are you joking?
And my friends know, like when you send me money for stupid stuff, I'm gonna call that a stupid time or whatever. I did add it to the kids' savings. And I know Jafrazy, she's one of them. I'm like, Jafrazy, I'm gonna freaking block you from Zelle because stop sending me money.
No, because then you're blocking your abundance in the form of Zelle. But yeah, so surrounding yourself with healing friendships, which friendships you don't feel like you need to shrink yourself to be accepted when you walk into a room and you feel like it's full of purpose. And I feel like on Sunday, that was a room with purpose.
Yes.
Like seeing Kayla in her element, you know, we know she's mama, like, you know, all that stuff, but how she pours not just into her family, but in her church, you could see it. Like you could see just how she was moving and everything. And it's beautiful to see that, you know? And then when we saw Anna, like, yeah, her life is so different, but like just seeing how she is and like bringing her mother along, like that just speaks to how she is as a person. And like, you know, her mom was, go take pictures with them. Like you didn't take pictures with them. Like that's somebody I would like to get to know more.
Right.
Like, you know, it's
been a lot of a breath of fresh air.
Yes. Yeah. But there's also been some thorns in the side, and that's okay. You just don't have access to me, and I don't really care to have access to you. If you want to share, but I will hold no animosity because literally it's not personal.
Yeah.
It's not.
And we can't carry that in our hearts, to be honest, because again, the animosity turns ugly so fast.
So, because you're acting on emotion.
Yeah. And again, it's like a poison.
Yeah.
It's literally going to start filtering into all aspects of your life. And the reverse side of that is, again, when you hold none and then you're growing, like even like my gym journey. I'm like, through this gym journey, it's amazing that I've learned. At first I was doing it obviously for vanity. I'll be straightforward. But then I was just like, wait, there's a deeper message here. And that's when I came across Kitty Rose, came across that virtual Bible study, and then got deeper into the faith. Then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do the 72-hour. At first, I was going to do just a fast because of the health benefits of it. But then I was just like, ooh, she was talking about a spiritual fast. And then another video came up about a spiritual fast. And then when I really learned to truly forgive in my heart, because I was forgiving up here, but stuff kept coming back because it was just still in my subconscious because it was still in my heart. But when I fully surrendered, and I'm just like, whoa. And then again, just even the conversations that I started having, just completely different.
Yeah.
And then when they say, when you start bringing Jesus and faith into rooms that you didn't even think that there was room to speak about that. Or even Charmin, she was like, you go ahead, girl. You keep talking your talk. Because I remember she had walked into a room that I was in, and I was just like talking about different things. She was like, because I saw how those people were listening. And I was just like, it's crazy because I literally just heard that whole message of, and you know, we're talking about being in the right rooms and all this stuff. And even sometimes when the room isn't right, God put you there for a reason to be that light. And I was like, whoa, I was a light in that room without even like walking in without, like, you know, I'm going to be a light today.
Yeah.
You know? Of course, we should walk in our faith every single day as much as possible. And walking in that is like, how can we be more like Jesus? And it's that. And it's just then we start pouring it into our friendships, and it just starts intermingling like a beautiful healing thing. And we're like, again, that poison is, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't.
It is work. It is work. But like I said, through that gym journey, it's interesting because a lot of people have said like, yeah, through my gym, I realized I also found God. And And I was just like, whoa, I 100% agree. Because now I'm not like, I am serving, yes, you serve yourself, but I was like, I'm serving God by taking care of my temple. You know, I've always heard those terms in the past, like, take care of your temple, but I wasn't ready to receive it. It wasn't that deep for me.
Yeah.
And that's, again, the only thing that's that deep for me now is the healing of God, of faith, and that gratitude. It's just, it's intense. It's a lot, but it's a beautiful journey. It's been a beautiful journey.
I'm just, just learning and giving myself the space and the respect of saying, I am worthy of having, you pick your friends. You pick your friends.
Absolutely.
So I'm worthy of having those people that are, one, going to hold me accountable when I'm falling off or when I'm reverting back to bad behaviors or things that no longer serve me. And also, I am deserving of having those friends that are staple lifelong partners, because yes, I have my spouse and he has that side of me, but he doesn't have the friendship side of me, the side that I need to lean on my friends when I'm having a hard time or when I'm doing this, and like that don't have that bias because I am their spouse.
Right.
Like Alberto, like when he talks about me, like I could see it. He talks about me with this love and everything, even though and I always tell him, I'm like, I know I'm so annoying. And he's like, you need to stop saying that.
Please.
He's like, stop saying you're annoying. He's like, stop. And like, if I tell my in-laws or something, I'm like, they're Norita, stop saying that about yourself. Stop. And I'm like, okay, it's just very hard for me to do that. But I have that strong, like my husband, my in-laws, my sisters, like I have that. But with friendships, it's like I'm building that and I love that because it's like, yeah, I fucking deserve it.
Yes, you do.
I do, because I freaking deserve it. Like I sit there and I pour into everybody else. And then when I get to myself to pour on myself, my thing is done. Like there's nothing there. And no more. And also no more allowing people's behavior that they're not healed get to me.
Yes. Because remember, it's always a projection.
It's like, what is it? They say like drinking the poison and wanting somebody else to die from it or something like that. I'm like, nah, homie. So we're not going to do that. But if I have to, I'm going to keep watching this episode because Nora from the future.
Yes.
Nora from the future. Hello.
I'm going to send you this episode when you're getting on your shit. Like, your sugar honey iced tea. Like,
let's go.
Remember what you said on here?
Yeah.
I'm holding you. Everybody saw it.
Everybody saw it. Everybody heard you. It's out there. I just need to make sure I redirect and that nothing's personal.
It's not. And once you fully realize that, because you'll realize that with your family dynamic, your immediate family, your extended family, then with friendships and work environment, all that stuff, nothing is personal.
Nothing's personal.
Nothing is personal.
And I'm excited to get back to work and bring this forward because I let work consume me so much and so deeply that I had to take a leave of absence because I brought my entire heart to work and felt that it was an attack on me personally. That is just not okay. For it to it would have disrupted my livelihood if we didn't have the benefits that we have and things like that. That could have disrupted my children's way, and all from me not being able to check myself and be like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna let it be in God's hands. If this is not for me, then it's not for me. He's either going to put me in a room where I'm supposed to be, or he's going to tell me this is not the company for you. And that's okay.
Right.
I'm not a failure.
Nope.
And it's so hard being the first child, especially the oldest daughter, all that stuff, and not trying, but those are just excuses. Those are excuses that society made it feel like that's okay. No, I'm the exception.
Yes.
I am the damn exception.
Yes,
so I'm going to go in there and I'm going to have my 5'1" on a good day, head held up high.
As you should.
And if you want to push
Shoulders
me out,
back.
I'll be like, if you want to push me out, guess what? I could spend time with my family and I still get paid.
Exactly. And it's putting God first in all of our heart's desires. It's like, okay, God, I want to do this. I want to do that. You have to talk to God. Like, make God your very first best friend.
To me. Na, 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 na.
You got to make God that best friend. The same way that, you said you're growing your friendships, grow that friendship with God first, and everything will start just fall into place like a beautiful Lego build. I had to.
Lego build, puzzle pieces. Okay. Like a beautiful sticky wallpaper with no bubbles.
Go. Whatever reference sticks
to you. But thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Please let us know what you thought of this episode.
Yes.
Do not forget to like, subscribe, comment,
follow,
share.
turn on that notification bell, share. Go back, watch other episodes, piece things together.
The growth.
Yes, see the growth. Because we're growing and we're going to continue to do so.
And
if that's bothering you, go on to the next podcast. We don't need you. We need the ones that want to grow with us. And I know there's a handful of you guys. So thank you for being here. Tell your friends that are also growing and put this podcast in front of the right people that it's actually going to benefit them.
Thank you, guys.
You.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao, Mickey Mouse. Your best friend is gone. I can't resist.